Oh. Oh, this is nasty. I got this mochi donut. That was supposedly peppermint flavor. maybe, maybe that wasn't the best of. Maybe I should have thought that through. Yeah, it was Merry Christmas. You know, it's like Christmas flavors. I was like, all right, peppermints. Gotta get peppermints. It do be like that. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Ver, but you can call me Kaicho. Welcome. Today is a very serious stream. Today we'll be talking about positive affirmations and advices that you might want in your life. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you are well. I am personally going for a fruit fly problem. It's perhaps a little TMI, but you know, like those really small flies? Those really small flies, they just seem to spawn infinitely out of nowhere. I actually did a huge house cleaning the other day. Cleaned my house, you know, cleaned the toilet, cleaned whatever, took out the trash, everything is all clean, and yet they still spawn. And it's like, what? Where? I do hate those things too. I have chat off today only because I am going to be showing the marshmallows on screen. Because I figured it would be easier that way. I was rewatching some of my radio streams, as any good streamer should. And I realized that it was a little confusing. If people suddenly jumped in the middle, they'd be like, what the heck is going on? So, but don't worry, I do absolutely see your chats. Indeed, I see that you are indeed a sickly Victorian kid right now, but we are indeed bawling. In fact, I also have a little bit of a cold. Unfortunately. Just give me 1 second. I also have a bit of a cold. My nose is a bit nasally, unfortunately. But I'm doing my best. 'Tis the season to have at choose. But it is okay. We will get through it. Indeed, that is a perfect segue to our topic today. Today, for this week's radio stream, I asked all my beautiful villains to turn in some things that were on their mind. If they had any advice they wanted, any positive affirmations they wanted to hear, well, that's what I'm here for. So without further ado, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of submissions, and while I cannot promise I can get to all of them, I'll do my best to get to most of them. And without further ado, that's the wrong image. Here we go. First submission. Boom, yeah, hell yeah, let's go, move right there. Getting into my radio voice here. Hello, Kaicho. I'm a university student villain. I've been worried about maintaining my grades. I've realized that it's quite difficult to watch streams, support you, and get good grades at the same time. On top of that, I have to submit 2 papers and take 2 exams. I wonder if I'll be able to keep supporting and liking you while still managing everything well. Thank you so much for the submission. I mean, that's a good question, right? I feel like for a lot of us, it kind of becomes an issue of multitasking. And the way I did it, I guess there's 2 things I want to share. The number 1 is my general advice to the general populace. And my advice, and secondly, kind of what I've done in this situation. First of all, here's my general advice. Don't ever force yourself to do too much. There are definitely priorities when it comes to these. In this case, getting good grades is definitely a priority than watching my streams or supporting me. I appreciate it, of course, but I would appreciate it more if you would appreciate yourself, number 1. And of course, I'm not going anywhere. I like to think of my streams as the kind of thing where it's kind of like a home. When you're out there playing and having a fun time or studying and, you know, really busy and working, you can always come back and kind of, you know, relax in this cozy environment that I like to call home. If you ever feel like you need me again, or if you ever feel like you're ready to support me or watch my streams again, I'll be here and you will be free to watch. I want to be that kind of stream that you could always come. So feel free to do what you need to do before you come back. Now, with that said, here is my experience when it came to this kind of dilemma. I had my education to focus on. I had a lot of eyes on me and a lot of expectations placed on me. I also really liked content creation, and I had the offer from NIJISANJI to join as a liver. And of course, I had my personal life as well, with my sisters, with my friends. So how do I maintain all 3 of them? I could definitely have decided to give up NIJISANJI, or I could have decided to perhaps give up on my education, or I could have perhaps decided to just be shut in and just not leave my house. But I'm an incredibly greedy individual. So I decided to choose all free. It was painful. Oh god, it was really painful. And I ended up, say for instance, taking a hiatus. Or my grades slumped. Or I wouldn't be able to hang out with friends because I was very busy. It wasn't easy. But I like to think that I did a decent job. And I like to think that in doing so, I could set an image, perhaps as a role model to anyone else in similar situations. My general advice is to choose one and focus on one. But if you're, like me, a very greedy person, then do know that you are able to do everything. Just takes a lot of soul grinding. Yes, it do be like that. Alright. Thank you so much. Next submission. This was in Japanese, but they were very, very kind to put in an English translation in the bottom. I am a Japanese person who recently started watching the chairman. I often watch his streams, but since I don't speak English, when I try to comment, the comments are always in English. I've always been worried about whether it's okay to comment in Japanese, and I haven't been able to comment yet. Is it okay for me, to the chairman, to comment in Japanese? I also enjoy watching your streams. Please continue to do your best without overdoing it. Your cover songs are also great. So, I think this is a good question, and I feel like it's important for me to answer this. I cannot read Japanese. However, what I have been doing was recently just translating my chat, like machine translating my chat so that I could at the very least read it and understand it. So my answer to you is I would hope you would feel comfortable to chat in any language you want to. And I'll do my absolute best to translate and respond to it. Having been said, I will say that I would prefer you to speak English, not because I don't think that you should, not because there's no hard rule against Japanese, but more like because I cannot read Japanese. And translation is not accurate. It's something I've been working on, and hopefully one day I'll be able to learn how to read Japanese. But until then, I hope you can be patient with me when I use machine translation to read your Japanese. And if that is okay, then please feel free to chat in whatever language you want, whether it be Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Spanish, and all of the languages. I like to think of my stream as accepting. I like to think of my fan base as incredibly accepting. And I want this to be a global environment because that's one of the wonders of it being a YouTube stream. Being able to connect to so many different people is amazing. So for instance, Saten sends this beautiful sentence in Japanese. I have no idea what it says. But here we are, I translated it and it says something like, chairman is awesome. So maybe Kaicho wa sugoi. And to that, I would say, arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, something like that. But thank you for the question. It's a good question. All right, here is the next submission. And I hope my speed and talking is okay as well. I've been trying to slow down a little bit because I want you guys to be able to follow my English. I speak very quickly and sometimes I use a bit of non-common words, but I'll try my best to make it simple and entertaining for you guys. Hi Kaicho, I hope you're having a good stream. I'm kind of scared for next year because it's a new school year with new classmates and teachers, and I'm kind of worried about interacting with them, and I'm kind of scared they'll help me or think I'm weird. I also have pretty bad social anxiety, so also I'm scared that I'm not gonna be able to keep up with the schoolwork because I really need good grades and my seniors say that it's gonna be really tough. Wish me good luck because I'm going to need it. I'm really terrified of my new classmates because they're scary. That's a good point. And actually, that reminded me, there is another one that was quite similar. So I'm gonna put that one up as well. Give me 1 second. This one was quite similar in context. I'm a first-year student without many friends at school. Everyone has their groups, and my closer friends rarely attend classes, so I'm often alone. I thought I'd be fine since I enjoy solitude, but I realize I'm lonely. Probably because I lack study partners. I don't know how to connect with others when everyone already has friends, and our interests don't align. So these two submissions both kind of tackle with the issue of it's a new school year, new people, I don't got friends, what do I do? Now, I think to both people, I want you guys to understand that making friends is very difficult. And I'm not saying that you can't make friends. What I am saying is that perhaps to an extent, you need to start with baby steps. Think about it. Think about how you made your current friends. Think about how you made friends with your current friends. It's not like you ran towards them thinking, I am going to be friends with this person, right? It's more like it happened to be. Perhaps you were in the same study group and talked with them and ended up hitting it off. Perhaps you guys bumped into each other somewhere and just happened to be in the same prep school, or perhaps you met from a friend's friend. This social anxiety that kind of comes upon us, whether it be because we're an introvert or because we're just not naturally comfortable speaking to people, that comes from that urge of wanting a friend. But that urge doesn't understand that that's the final step. So think about it. So my my suggestion to you, both of you really, is, for instance, maybe start with baby steps. Both of you seem to have, troubles with finding a study partner or keeping up with the schoolwork. And perhaps talk to someone, say, hey, we're in the same class. Did you want to maybe study together? Did you want to maybe do a study group together? Something like that. Maybe you see a study group and be like, hey, is it okay if I join in? I'd love to learn more about these things. When I was in school, I had a guy who just come up to me and be like, hey, Ver, you want to form a study group together? You want to study together? And that's how I get to know people. That's how I make friends. It's this fear of, oh, they don't want to be my friends, right? That might push you away. But you need to realize that honestly, that's not realistic. Why would they want to be your friend when you guys don't even know each other? So, take baby steps. Don't think about the end goal too much, but do think about getting to know someone. And I think that will help you immensely. I promise. And I guess kind of on that note, I will just also point out that if you end up not having friends throughout school, it's okay. Don't force yourself to try to make friends. People can see that too. Maybe you're sitting next to someone. Maybe you guys have assigned seating. Be like, hey, did you see that game the other day? Hey, did you see that new Netflix show? Make small talk. And you guys don't have to be like, yeah, we're friends now. It's okay. Just make small talk. Just having someone comfortable to you, just having someone you're comfortable enough to just speak to chat with, I think that's more than enough. And I'm sure you guys will do just fine. I get the worry myself. I'm incredibly socially anxious as well, but I did fine too. I ended up making quite a bit of friends. So, I feel like that's saying something. All right, thank you so much. Hopefully that answered it a little. Here we go. Next submission. This one's a good one too. I'm a freshman struggling with procrastination. I used to love learning, but now I only study when deadlines approach, and I'm at risk of failing anatomy. Between classes, 2 part-time jobs, and choir, I come home and just want to sleep or watch streams instead of studying. Even though I have motivation from my Oshi, I can't bring myself to focus. I'm really disappointed in myself. Now, first of all, I want to applaud you by even submitting this. It's clear that you are self-conscious, that you're not, or that you're having a little bit of difficulty meeting deadlines, for instance. And I'm really proud of you for coming to terms that, yes, if you don't change things up now, you might fail at, say, anatomy class. I will also say classes and 2 part-times and choir and watching streams. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. And I totally understand. Now that I work my 9 to 6, every time I come home, I just want to like lie down and not do anything. I completely understand. What I will say is that because you understand that you are facing this, you are also well equipped to tackle the issue. I think, for instance, choir... It would be nice if you would be able to perhaps drop something. I think that would be amazing. 2 part-time jobs, I'm assuming, is important because that's important for your finances. Perhaps choir could maybe be shoved a little to the left. Only because unless you're gonna go into singing, choir tends to be... I mean, I was in choir. And, you know, it wasn't exactly the most... let's just say it didn't really do much when it comes. I don't know, who knows? Maybe it's because I did choir that I was able to sing Iris out. But in the case where you are unable to drop anything and you have to take class, you have to do choir and all of your part-time jobs and your classes, then I think it's very important to come to terms with what you need to do. Maybe try to find some time to rest, but also definitely find some time to actually do the studying, to do the working. My dad always told me that scheduling is very important the more busy you are. When you have so many different things going on in your life, it's so easy to just do things and then get tired and call it a day. But if you plan out your day, each day, schedule it, maybe after time, after 5, after 6, whenever you come back. For 2 hours, I'm going to use these 2 hours for work. I use these 2 hours for studying. And then after that, I will rest as much as I want. I mean, that's very important. Like, take this from someone who has high cholesterol, who has low energy, and loves procrastinating. I promise you, using deadlines as your way to motivate yourself is not healthy. Being chased by stress is terrifying. Plan out your days. Think about what you need to do ahead of time. And if it helps, perhaps turn off that social media. Turn off that stream for now and be like, well, it's okay. The VOD will always be up. I will work these days. My streams are Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. So you better be working on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. See, here's my real advice to you. Have one Oshi. Just have me as an Oshi. If you only have me as an Oshi, then the other days you could focus on studying. Easy. Problem solved. Now, I get it though. It's not easy, but to an extent, you kind of have to do it, so I believe you can do this. What if you have more than one? You better give up choir. Next is submission. I'm really happy that I can watch your radio stream again, Kaicho. Welcome back. Recently, I started working a part-time job. I want to work hard so I can buy your merch and voice packs. Speaking of, Clingy Voice pack is out. If you do buy it, it will support me quite a bit, so I do appreciate that. I did put in quite some effort in it, and it was quite embarrassing for me. But perhaps that's a good thing for you guys. So yeah. Oh, link? Right. Gosh, it's been a hot minute. Let me see here. Voice. Clingy voice. Group EN. Here we are. I think it's this, right? Yeah. Bam. That's right. I did both a main voice and an EX voice because I'm cool like that. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's right. If you're working on a part-time job or you're working too, well, the purpose must be this, right? Anyway, recently I started working a part-time job. Do I want to pin? Yeah, I guess I'll pin it. Of course, don't buy it if you can't, Don't buy it if you can't. Teaser? I guess I will. Yeah, I'll make a teaser at some point. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Started working a part-time job, but the other day I ended up making a customer upset. Oh. I was taking orders at the drive-thru, and because I couldn't hear the customer well, I asked them to repeat themselves. Then they said something really harsh to me. Of course, it was my fault for upsetting them. Whoa, what? But it still shocked me a little. Still high school students. The customer was an adult. So it made me feel like I might become scared of interacting with adults. But thinking about kind adults like you, Kaicho, makes me feel a little better. Sorry for the gloomy story. No, listen, man. And I say man because I say man to girls too. I do apologize. But listen, man. Not your fault. Not your fault. It is not your fault. I feel like we have come into society where we normalize treating customer service badly. And that is upsetting. I don't even know where to begin. Just know that it's not your fault. You are 100% in your right to ask. I mean, come on, think about it. What if they said something and you really couldn't hear it, but then you just ignore them? I feel like that's more rude too. You should absolutely ask again if you have any questions. If they can't speak loud enough for you to hear, that's a skill issue. Jesus. Also, here's another thing I want to talk about. I feel like for you, Anon, there's a huge pressure on you of not upsetting the customer. And that's because inherently you're a very good person. You're a very kind person. You're a person who is sensitive to what other people feel, and you don't want to make other people upset. And trust me, that's a good quality that not many people have in this world. I have met a lot of rude people who don't understand that, yes, if you don't act civilized, and if you do say mean things, people will get upset. There's a lot of people who don't understand that. So I want to start off by saying you are a very well-natured person, and I do appreciate that. And I also want to say I'm very similar to you. I often feel bad, and I really don't like it when I upset someone. I like to think that I haven't made any enemies, and I like to think that I play things relatively safe. I like being friends with everyone. I don't like making enemies. And when someone comes up to me and says, Ver, you shouldn't do this, or you doing this made me feel upset, I take it incredibly personally, and it affects me for a lot of days. So I totally understand where you're coming from. In fact, just yesterday and just today, I submitted something to my boss, but she returned it to me saying, there's some errors here, please fix it up. I sent it back today, and they said, thanks, but there's still some errors here. And the thing is, these errors this time wasn't even my fault. The first one, yeah. Second one, not me. It wasn't even my fault. But I felt bad. I felt bad because it seemed like, oh, maybe she doesn't trust me anymore. Or, oh, maybe I should have caught it even though it wasn't my fault. But do you hear how terrible and how nonsensical that sounds? I should have fixed that even though it wasn't my fault. That's a very draining mentality. And it's very, very nonsensical. It's very illogical. What do you mean I have to fix something that I wasn't even aware it was a problem? Or what do you mean I have to fix something when it's not even my fault? What? What are you talking about? Right? Anon, you and I are very alike. In fact, you and I are the same. I hate it when I make other people upset. But we're bound to make mistakes. And we are bound to make people upset. We can't be friends with everyone. especially if they're complete strangers who come into your convenience store or your drive-thru or whatever. But what we can do is do our best to still be nice people. And if they are upset at you, just think, probably had a pretty bad day. I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm sure they just had a bad day. Oh well, it's okay. They're just a stranger. Not gonna have to deal with them anymore. And if even that doesn't help, here's one evil thing I'm gonna share to you. Don't tell anyone I said this. But remember, you're a high schooler, and they're an adult. While you're like 60 or 70 years old and kicking, they're gonna be under the ground. So if that gives you confidence too, go with it. Okay? Literally won't have to worry about them for the rest of your life. It's okay, I get it, but you'll be fine. What? Too much? Huh? Too much? Here's another one. But this one was suggested to please read privately. 1 second. The fruit fly is back. Why is there so many? They're after my donuts. Gotta protect my donuts. This hits home too much as I objectively know that the criticism is helpful, not meant to come off as really rude, but I internally feel like crying. And I've already graduated. Oh, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat, Kanai Shina. But trust me when I say this. I'm sure you already know too by now, but it's not about the age, right? You know, something I've learned now that I'm older now is that just because you're like 20 or 21, there's no like switch, right? Switch on. Oh, you are now an adult. Now, all stressful social anxieties will disappear. No, there's no such thing. Right? We will slowly but surely grow to feel more numb to these things, and slowly but surely we'll grow too. For better or for worse. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat though. I totally understand it. Yeah, I get it too. You know, when my boss says like, "There, you know what? Thank you so much, but you need to do this again. You need to do this again." I get it, you know. Oh, like they want me to learn. That's how I'll help them. But like, you know, inside I'm like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't. I'll do it. I'll do it correctly next time. I'm sorry. I totally get it. I totally get it. Anyway, next submission, they wanted me to read privately because they have a little surprise. So I'm just gonna read the first half. Hi Kaicho, I'm writing for my daughter today. She's been stressed out about school recently. She's in a very demanding academic program and feels like no matter how hard she tries, there's still more work to be done. You're her Oshi, and I'm sure some encouragement from you would be the perfect medicine. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, hey mommy. Secondly, I apologize that you had to hear what I just said. So it is interesting that academic programs, especially the demanding ones, are tricky. Yes, I totally get it. I was personally part of a very demanding academic program as well. And I can promise you that when your daughter says that no matter how hard she tries, there's still more work to be done, she probably meant that. No, 100%. Without a doubt. For me too. I was in a program where basically, like, for the exam, for instance, it was kind of built in a way where you couldn't learn everything. There was no way you were gonna memorize everything. It was just a battle of how much you can memorize. Not to mention, it was curved in a way where only like top 10% or top 20% of the class could get A's and everyone else got B's and C's. So it was very competitive. So in my setting, it was very much, oh, if I don't study, I will get a C. If I don't study, I might fail. And literally, there was no end to studying because the more I study, the higher chance I have to get a higher grade. So quite literally, there was always work to be done. And in this aspect, there's nothing I can say that would make the work less, right? There's nothing I can say that will make the work less. I can't be like, it's okay. She's overthinking things. Just, she will be able to complete it and call it a day. No. There quite literally is always work to be done. But what I will say is, pushing yourself too much would 100% have the opposite effect. This comes from personal experience. I took several all-nighters, I think for about a week or two before my exams, and I noticed that I was picking up less. I couldn't read properly. I couldn't memorize properly. Rest days and taking care of yourself is part of the study process. And trust me also, loving yourself is a very, very big part of this process as well. I think 90% of the game really is confidence. Your daughter sounds like an incredibly smart person, perhaps taken after her very caring mother, Wink. And the truth is, your daughter clearly knows that there's a lot of work to be done, and I promise you there are a couple of people who don't think that. Just by knowing that there's a lot of work to be done tells me that your daughter is already putting in the effort, and already studying very hard. And I'm very sure, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll continue to work very hard and make you a very proud mother. But the reason you asked me this is I'm assuming you might be worried that she's overworking herself. In which case, I'll tell you, maybe tell your daughter these following words. I know you're doing it. I know you're doing just fine. I don't really worry about you, honestly. I mean, my daughter is the most hardworking, smartest girl I know. All I hope for you is that you can believe in that yourself. All I hope for you, my daughter, is that you can also be confident in your work during exam day, during work day, during, whenever your project is due or whatnot. Because I believe in you, and I've seen how hard you work, and I have no doubt that you're going to do incredible stuff. Now it's your turn to believe that. Because in my experience, 90% of the time, confidence is what brings it to home. You know the material. This is what I told myself during my own exam, because no one was there to tell me, so I had to tell myself. During my exam, I was telling myself, you know the material. You studied for this. You took hours and studied when others were outside playing. But I also took rests and I rested efficiently, I took care of myself. I made sure to not get colds. I made sure to not get sick because I wanted my bestest best. I primed myself for perfection, and that's all I'm going to get. Because I know the material, now I just gotta believe that I know the material. And that helped for me because I passed. hope, at least to an extent, that helps. What a wonderful mother, though. She came to her daughter's Oshi's stream, probably has no idea what VTubers are, and asked me a question for her daughter. Like, my God. What a wonderful mom. That's wonderful. Alright, team. Next submission. This one's in Japanese. So I translated it. こんにちは。いつも見てます。私は学生でたくさん勉強しないといけないのですが、集中力がなく勉強がうまくいきません。どうしたら集中できると思いますか? Which translates to, Hi, I watch your videos all the time. I'm a student and I have a lot of studying to do, but I lack concentration and my studies aren't going well. What do you think I can do to improve my concentration? You have come to the right person. I am the king of concentration. And this is how you do it. You get diagnosed with ADHD and then you get the drugs. I'm just kidding. So, okay, unironically, that was my solution. But but that's because I actually have it, okay? It's not something you should abuse. It's because I actually have it. Anyway, with that, legally that was a joke. And that joke aside, I can promise you guys that concentration is probably an issue that affects a lot of us now, right? And I have no doubt it's probably because, frankly, of smartphones. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok. Ugh, TikTok. We really like dopamine. We want that, like, immediate release of just happiness. We like immediate information. You know, back in the day, we had this thing called books. Encyclopedias. Right? If we wanted information, if we wanted to know things, we had to go through the dictionaries, we had to go through these textbooks and history books to learn. And then comes Wikipedia, which helped me a lot, but even then, I had to do a lot of research, right? Go into one link and then press another link to learn more. There's this thing called, I believe there's a thing called encyclopedia.org as well, if I'm not wrong. Britannica was a thing. But now, even Google is like obsolete. Nowadays, we don't even... Back in my day, we would be like, oh, let me Google it. Let me Google that for you. Now it's like, oh, let me ChatGPT that for you. Wild. So quick, too. If you want to improve your attention, and this is what I did during my exam studies this summer. I was around... So my exam was late July, right? And around the beginning of July, I realized I had an issue. I was not focused. Every time I tried to study, I would jump into bed, thinking, oh, 5 minutes of studying was enough. Let me look at my phone. Or like, I worked hard today. I solved 4 practice problems. I could get a 2-hour rest. I'm sure that's relatable. I'm sure it is. Number 1, delete social media. That's the first thing I did. Because around July, I was like, oh shoot, if I don't fix my habits now, I'm going to fail this exam. Delete social media. Oh my god, it's terrible for you. It is so bad for you. Oh my god. I cannot... If I weren't a part of NIJISANJI or a VTuber, I would not have Twitter. In fact, I only started Twitter because of NIJISANJI, and that is probably the very, very one huge negative that comes of this job. But social media is fun, slaps you in the face. That's exactly why you have a small attention span. I mean, it's true. And I don't say this lightly. I get it. Social media is addicting. And it's fun. Maybe that's your way of connecting with people. But, brother, I promise, it is not good for your brain. Have I reinstalled it since then? I don't have it on my phone, actually. I do my bestest best to not have it on my phone. Detoxing is good. Maybe at least like try to detox until your exam, at the very least. Just have a limit there. That helps a bit. And if that doesn't work, which I feel like it would, but... Wait, sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Someone was knocking on my door. I was like, what the heck's going on? My bad. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Yes, number 2. And this was actually suggested in chat as well. But back in the day, my teacher actually suggested this as well to me. Have some small gifts after you do certain benchmarks, right? So for instance, let's say you're trying to learn 500 words. There was a time, by the way, I learned 500 SAT vocab words in like a day for like 4 weeks. It was terrifying. I learned like 5,000 words in a month. Oh my god. It definitely helps. It definitely helps if you have a quiz. It definitely helps if you have someone to quiz you. Yeah, have like a little treat for you. And don't cheat. So for instance, what I did was... Alright, Ver, if you finish 50 practice problems today, you can open 1 box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Alright? Don't cheat. But if that doesn't work, and this is probably the best way, honestly, get a study partner. We often have trouble focusing because the only person we're accountable to is us. And I promise you, humans are, in nature, creatures who feel responsibility, right? That's what makes us different from, say, I don't know, fruit flies. I'm going to get that fruit fly, I swear to God. When it comes to study groups, for instance, let's say, all right, team, we're gonna try to finish 100 practice problems by next week, and make sure you finish it, because then we'll be able to compare our answers and talk about, you know, what went wrong, yada yada, right? That helps. I promise you that will help. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. I think for if when I had like a study group thing, I remember I spent the most time on studying and I was finishing it before deadlines because I was like, I don't want to be a burden to other people. So I was top of my game. That helps so much. So yeah. And if you don't have friends, well, then submit your work to me. Okay? Next radio stream, I want you to tell me what you've achieved. What you have learned. And I realized I said all of this in English, even though the question was in Japanese. So let me see if I could fix this up. (1) ソーシャルメディアを削除する。2、目標を達成するごとに自分にご褒美を与える。3、勉強仲間を見つけて、お互いに進捗状況を確認し合う。And number 4、1、2、3。1、2、3、3？ C、C？ 3、C、C、5、C、C。もし友達がいないなら俺に報告してください。ありがとうございます。たまに図書館にある個人研究室を借りて集中力をアップする。そうですね。I do also try to study in libraries as well. Oh, yes. If you do go to a library to study, which I do strongly recommend, throw your phone somewhere. Lock it up. Preferably use a textbook to study. Try not to use a laptop. Those are evil devices. セルフォン。本当に悪魔です。Evil です。What if I need to write essays? Bring out your number 2 pencil. Well, if possible, try to like get a laptop that doesn't have internet connection, or like, just try to disconnect to the Wi-Fi. Do your best. It's about accountability and really about, think of it this way. You go to the library and you're like, you know what? I have to write an essay, so that's why I'm going to use my laptop. Not going to do anything. And then you end up going to social media. Then you're weak. You're a disappointment. Okay. That's right. I said it. No crying. No. You go to the library and you end up going on social media. Disappointments. Okay? Disappointed in you. Alright? Can you say it again? If you go to the library, using databases for research, if you have to use the internet, use it, but you end up going on social media, you end up going on YouTube, you end up playing Genshin Impact or something, then you're weak. You're a disappointment, and you'll fail no matter what. That's right. I said it. I cursed you. That's right. I cursed you. Don't be weak. Don't disappoint me. Stop crying. What do you? What do you? Why are you crying? So stay accountable. Stay true to yourself. Okay. All right. Next submission. Kaicho, thank you so much for the gentle, comforting radio stream. To be honest, there's something that's been bothering me a little. I've been forgetful ever since I was a child, and I tend to make small mistakes a lot. Even when someone tells me, please take care of this, and I try to keep it in mind, I end up forgetting anyway, or I leave things behind. Sometimes I get really frustrated with myself for being like this. I take notes and try to be careful, and I've definitely improved a lot compared to when I was younger, but I'm still forgetful. If there's any way to help with this, I'd love to hear your advice. I am a very forgetful person. I am so forgetful. To the point where if I enter a building and I get out of the building, I forget which direction I came into it. Like literally, I went from my office and I went to the nearby pharmacy to just pick some stuff up. It was a straight line. It was a straight line. From my office to the pharmacy was a straight line. I kid you not, it was a straight line. I walked into the pharmacy and then I left the pharmacy and I was lost. I was like, wait, did I go through that street? Did I take a left here? I am so bad at directions. I am super forgetful. That's directionally challenged. Damn. But also, when it comes to really small details for work as well, like assignments, I forget that all the time too. I reread my assignments like 5 times thinking, oh, this is perfect. And then I submit it and they come back and says, Ver, you have like 26 typos. I'm like, ah! And truth of the matter is, this is something that only becomes better over time. But you need to actually you need to actually make an effort to fix that. So here's what I mean. For instance, typos. Terrifying, I get it. Reread the thing slowly. In fact, if I were to give you some advice, I know you're probably not asking about typos, but for me, printing out the material makes it a lot easier for me to catch typos versus just reading on screen. Reading on screen, I tend to just kind of sift through. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. But when I print it out and read word by word, I underline things. I'm like, oh, that's a typo. Oh, that's wrong, right? Just finding, accountability, self-discipline to just sit down and think, oh, I should take some more time because I know that I'm forgetful. I know that I miss mistakes. Let me take some more time and actually look through so I don't submit material that is filled with mistakes. Now, in Anon, your case was someone tells you to take care of this and you forget it. Oh, that happens to me too. There's some days I wake up thinking, wait a second. Don't I have like something due tomorrow? I forget. So nowadays I take notes of everything. I have a notepad on me, whether it be on my phone or a physical notepad. Every day I go into the office, I start off by doing a checklist of what I need to do that day. And then before I end, I usually go back home around 5:30. So when my day's over, I take out a notepad and I do another check. I write a checklist for myself for the me of tomorrow, saying, remember, my boss wants this assignment. Remember to follow up on this. You see what I mean? So that next day, when I wake up at 9 a.m. and go into office, I think, oh, well, I know what to do because I made sure to write it all down. It doesn't take a lot of time. Just take a little bit of time. So, like, what is that sound? What? What's going on? What is that sound? Why is Windows going crazy? Anyway, yeah, let's say your friend comes in and says, hey, please take care of this. Your boss comes in and says, please take care of this. Every time my boss comes into my office, the first thing I do is I take out my notepads. I'm like, my boss is like, all right, Ver, hey. And I'm like, takes out my pen. Yes, boss? And I write everything down. Because I'm really forgetful. But, Anon, I think it's a very good thing that you already acknowledge that you're forgetful. Now all you gotta do is be accountable for that. And you'll be able to do it. Don't worry about it. You know, as long as you take good notes and feel accountable and honestly, more importantly, feel bad, right? I know a lot of friends who don't feel bad. When I say, like, there's a couple friends, I just don't trust them with anything. Like, I tell them, hey, can you do this? And I'm like 90% sure they're not going to do it because they'll just forget. So annoying. A lot of YouTubers are like that. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Truth is, those kind of friends, the issue is they don't care. They understand that they have the issue, but they don't try to fix it. And that's not good. Not gonna lie. So Anon, I think it's a very good step that you understand that you have that issue. Now what I want you to do is take accountability for it. If you understand you have the issue, make steps to fix it. Someone comes up to you and says, hey, can you take care of this? Write it down, thinking, all right, my mom wants me to do the dishes. My boss wants me to finish this assignment. Write it down and make sure you get to it. Steps like that. Not too hard. There's no rocket science. It's okay, it's okay. You got this. Oh yeah, and there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. If anything, I feel like if your boss saw you taking notes whenever he talks, I think that's like a huge plus, right? It's like, oh, this person's actually listening and making sure that it's going to be done. I think that's really cool. That's my personal opinion. I mean, if I walked into someone and be like, hey man, can you do this for me? And he takes out a notepad and he's like, shh. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, good stuff. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm just a little hungry. Just give me one sec. 먹어. Next submission. Could you say something positive for me? I've been having issues about losing weight for years, and my health really needs it. But I can't stop eating. I think nothing works even with help. Crap, that's bad timing. Oh, it spits out my donut. Up it. Ah, damn. Well, listen, man. Yes. Well, perhaps not the... I don't know if... dude, I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice. Since I have high cholesterol, probably because of eating too many sweets. And I'm eating a donut at 10 p.m. Artigo, thank you so much for the super. Thank you so much. Thank you. Damn, I should have read that before I ate. Okay, here's what I will say though. I feel I'm gonna start off by saying this. If there's a body type you want, and you are aiming and working towards that body type, I think that's very beautiful. I think that's really cool. And I think that deserves all the praise that you possibly can receive. I feel like there's, well, at least around my circle, there never really was any issue with that. But I think there's a certain kind of, there's like two, like from social media, right? Especially on Twitter, there's just two groups of like, oh, you know, all you people saying that body positivity is good, you guys suck, you know, like what are you guys talking about? Versus another group of like, guys, body positivity is important. All these muscular men or like, you know, these hot social media people, this complete BS. Forgetting all of that, the fact that you have decided, hey, I want to lose weight, I think that's super cool. I think that's really cool. And I definitely am rooting for you in that journey. Especially if you think if your health needs it, then absolutely. You should absolutely strive towards that. And I think that's really, really important for me and important for you and really awesome for you that you actually took notice that your body needs, you know, less weight, and you are aware of that. So I think that's already a great start. Now the issue is following through with it. I can't stop eating. I think nothing works even with help. God, eating is amazing. I love eating, absolutely. But you need get braces. No, I love eating too. But it helps if you have a goal. For instance, the one time I actually was this close to actually getting abs was last summer. Or last winter actually, before summer. Because I told myself I want to get abs before I turn 30. Age reveal, whoa. Before I turn 30. That's right, I am actually younger than 30. Oh my god, I'm actually not 98. And it's summer, I want to go to the beach, and I want to take off my shirts and have a body that I'm proud of. Those are my goals. And that helped a lot, actually, in striving towards my kind of quote-unquote weight loss journey. Losing weight for survival, I feel like, is really a great motivation too. But something more, perhaps even shallow. I just want to look good in the beach. I have a crush and I want them to notice me with my, you know, hot, sexy body. It's shallow, but I feel like that really helps. It's a good motivation. I know actually, a motivation I also had before I went into Japan and, you know, got those mocap suits, right? Those are like really tight mocap suits. One of my goals was I want to at least lose the gut in my belly because I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the staff when I'm wearing those tight mocap suits. Those kind of goals. And once you have that goal, I implore you, you need to follow through. You need to follow through. I know some really good ways. For instance, having a meal prep of only just the healthy kinds of foods. Chicken, maybe beef, but like, you know, nothing too crazy. Lean meats, lots of veggies. Not eating too much, and trying to limit, say, sugar intake, like having like maybe one cheat day a week, you know? I know, I get it. Eating is great. I love eating too, but you can't indulge yourself every day. Not only because it's probably not good for you, but also your wallet will hurt. Choose food options that keep you fuller. That's a great idea too. It won't be easy, but I know someone who actually succeeded impressively. They lost, I think, I want to say 40 pounds over the past month. Because they stuck to a meal prep plan. And they didn't cheat. Like they you know, like maybe took one boba tea a week at max. But they stuck to their plan. And damn, did they do a great job. But the thing is, I'd say all of this, and I feel like Anon probably knows all this too. You know? I feel like probably just like sounds like a nagging uncle. So all in all, the only thing I will say now is this. I think it's great that you have perceived that this is an issue, and I think it's absolutely wonderful that you decided to take action. I think what would be even more beautiful is if you can one day prove to the world, no, more importantly, prove to yourself that you are a person of action and that you can achieve things that you fought out to achieve. And once you pass that hurdle, once you see those numbers drop, once you get your scale and you go on your scale and you see those numbers drop, your waistline drop, you'll feel quite literally so light. So, I'm sure you got this. So, someone asked how to submit these. It's actually on Twitter, but every week I try to do, well, at least 3 times a week, I try to do this thing called radio streams. Basically, the topics are different each week, and you submit via the marshmallow. You don't have Twitter? That is totally understandable. Maybe I'll try to make a post on YouTube too then. But basically, it is this. This is my inbox. I will, if that's the case, yeah, I'll post it on YouTube as well in case anyone wants to join in on my YouTube community. Yeah, weight loss is hard. I have the utmost respect for people who have lost a lot of weight. I mean, God, one day, man, I'll get abs one day. Goddamn. Hi Kaicho, I just finished my first semester and first final exams in law school. Damn, I heard law school is terrifying. I'm happy they're over, but I'm extremely worried for the results. I didn't do very well for my midterms, and although I studied harder, it's still extremely worrying. What if I don't end up finding my own pace? What if things don't become better? I know it's only my first semester, but it's still terrifying. Do you have any advice? Thank you very much in advance. So, from what I hear, law school first year is terrifying for 2 reasons. Number 1, in general for law school, the final exams are the majority, if not 100% of your grade. There's no like homework assignments that could like buffer your grade. That would be like 20%. No. Most law classes are determined by that final exam. But if in Anand's case, it seems like you have a midterm as well. But those 2 exams are probably 100% of the grade in total. Now you might be thinking, oh, no homework is good? Wrong! Because these exams also have curves. So you need to do really well. Your entire semester, your 3 months of studying in class and all that, all amounts to one exam that is graded based on how well you do compared to your peers. That's terrifying. It's a really stressful thing. Number 2, here's another reason why it's stressful. Depending on how well you do on your first year, decides on where you're going to work for. In law school, what often happens is people get their jobs after their first year. That's terrifying. So what happens is these recruiters, these people who try to, interview you and give you jobs, they look at your first year grades. Oh yeah. If you don't do well, then you get a relatively, and there's no job that's worse than the other, but you'll get a relatively less paying job. Terrifying stuff. So, to Anon's points, you have all the rights and all the reasons to be worried. Oh, 100%. I'm not gonna, try to pat it down for you. It's a stressful, terrifying experience. And it's really scary. Now, what I can share to you is limited. But in my grad school experience, I remember for my first year, I did a terrible job. My grades were incredibly bad. I had a 3.18 or something? 3.1 or 3.2 something? Terrible. Really bad GPA. It's not because I didn't study. It's not because I didn't try. It's because everyone else was goddamn smarter than I was. 3.1 is bad. I mean, it depends on what things you're studying. For me, 3.1 is bad because of the kind of area I was in. And what I did was study harder. It didn't change anything, right? It's not like I didn't study hard before, but having realized that I was studying, for instance, in a wrong way, maybe I should have taken a different method. Maybe I should have done study groups. Maybe I should have done more practice problems. The really scary thing about studying, especially when it's your first final exams, is that you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You're thrown into it. Like, grad school is different from college. It's a totally different world. And you're suddenly thrown into it, taking exams, thinking, what the hell am I doing? Am I doing this right? I don't know. It's really unfair. It really is. And the only solace is that it's unfair for everyone, but God, it's annoying. And that's why my first year I didn't do great. But then I clenched my teeth. While everyone else was having the time of their lives, I clenched my teeth. I studied. And I improved my GPA up and up and up. So I was like, no. This is not the future I signed up for. No. This is not the future I'm looking forward to. No. I'm going to grasp my own future. Just because your first semester grades, God forbid, is not good, and hell, you don't even know yet, right? Let's say it's not good. It's not the end of the world. You'll get them the next semester. You don't do well the first year, it's okay. You know what? You'll get experience somewhere else, and you'll climb up. You'll keep racking up your grades. You'll study. You'll get the knowledge. You'll talk to the people. You'll get the experiences. You'll climb up to the top because you know that you deserve better. You gotta be like, ruthless. You know? You can't just sit down and just be like, maybe you'll be fine. This was unlucky. You know what? This was unlucky. I'm sure it'll be better next time. No, you can't be like that. Real advice from a real adult. If you want to achieve something, you need to go and get it. Seize your moments. As that one villain in that one Disney movie said. Where's the Pixar? What? It's not this. Oh, I see. I thought this was quite similar. I caught you on my final exam, ended a few days ago, and I'm sure I did pretty well. And understandable. I mean, these were all like, you know, submitted like today, yesterday, December 15th, December 16th. All of y'all final exams are like over. Some of you are still taking it. Congrats if you guys did finish your final exams. My God. Not a fun time. I know, I get it. But congrats, you can rest now. You can rest now. And if you haven't finished, well, you're almost there. You're almost there. My final exams ended a few days ago, and I'm sure I did pretty well, even though not the best. At least I don't have any regrets. I know I need to be satisfied with the result by myself and just keep studying for my goal. But sometimes, even when I'm doing fine, I can't stop thinking it's not good enough and want to be heard that I'm doing great. Can you please tell me I did well? Always hoping for your happiness. Have a nice day, Kaicho. Oh, you did fine. You did well. From my experience, people who says that they didn't do well end up doing pretty well. But people who says, I mean, I feel like I did fine, but you know, maybe not the best, ends up being like the top 10%. Yeah, you did fine. Don't even worry about it. Not even worried about it. Because like, I feel like also saying that you didn't have any regrets means a lot. Probably means that you actually studied the material. Probably means that you didn't have any questions you missed. And I feel like at the very least, that means that you went and achieved. You at the very least got that B, at the very least. And after that, you know, it's from a B to an A is really just the amount of studying you did. And for me, like, if I were stuck in any of the questions, if I was looking at a question thinking, I don't know how to answer this, then I would have regrets. Exams where I'm like, no, I got everything. I solved everything, no problem. Those are the exams I don't have regrets, and usually the exams I did the best in. So I have no doubt that you did fine. You did just fine. Here's the next one. I don't know how to get over my ex-girlfriends. Whew, after she ended things with me over text. Ooh. That's not good. We've been together for a few months and just ended things yesterday. I just found out that she's back on the dating app where we first met from a friend of mine. She didn't say or hint at that there was things wrong at all until she sent a big paragraph. Everything that I'm doing wrong. I don't know what to do or really feel. Love you, big man. Let me tell you about how my ex broke up with me. We went to her, I think, cousin's friend's place. You know, as boyfriend, girlfriend, we went there. We said hi to their cousin's friend, and we even met that cousin friend's daughter. So we're all like, oh my God. We played with their daughter, we talked with their daughter, had a lot of fun, good times. We all laughed. I think he said that, oh, you guys look so cute together. Are you guys going to marry? And we just laughed. It was all cute. Then we left that area. And then I got a message saying that my grandmother was very sick. So I told her, oh, I probably need to go back to my home country because my grandma is sick. So I might not be able to spend some time with you for the next week. She was quiet and then she said, let's break up. So I went back to my country thinking about, it was really bad because at the time I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where this came from. I remember going back to my own country, thinking about what to say, thinking about how depressed I was, how upset I was at my own grandma's funeral. Instead of focusing on my grandma, I was focused on my ex, who broke up with me for apparently no reason. I went back, I talked to her at a Thai place. And she told me, oh, you know what? After dating you for a long time, I realized you just weren't the person I thought you were. That is to say, all of that having said, that is to say, women suck. Just kidding. I think ultimately when your ex-girlfriend says, she sent a big paragraph, everything that you're doing wrong, yada yada, it's probably the case that she was holding things for a long time, right? And then she let it all out. At some point, she was like, I'm done. Maybe she met someone else and was like, you know what? It's time to end it with this person so I can move on with this other person. Maybe she just wanted to be free. She said you said that she was on the dating app again, right? Whatever the reason is, and whether or not there was actually a good reason to it or not, in your perspective, Anon, in your perspective, that person sucked. Your ex-girlfriend was a sucky person. And I don't think you should spend your entire life thinking about a sucky person. I don't think you should be concerned or stressed or feel like you can't get over a sucky person. And that goes out for you guys too. I mean, there's a lot of talk about like, oh, men suck. Oh, women suck. It's really not that, right? It's about the people who hurt you, right? When people say like, oh, men are terrible people, I think it's often because like there's certain men who hurt them in their life. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good guys out there. There's a lot of good girls out there. There's a lot of good people in between. So don't waste your time on bad people. Spend the rest of your life with someone good. Yeah, you don't like those like comments, especially on social media, when people are like, I have a friend who's always like, yo, men derogatory. I feel like they just say it like jokingly, but like in the back of my head, I'm like, wow, who hurt them? What guy hurt them? I feel bad sometimes. I hope like sometimes I look at them thinking, man, I hope you are just surrounded with a lot of wonderful men, you know, friends or boyfriends or whatnot, so that you could feel better. I feel the same way for me too. No. I'm not saying that like it was wrong for them to like if they had what I'm saying is like, let's say they had a bad experience with men. I'm like, I feel bad. Dude, I feel bad. I don't know why she says or she feels that way, but I hope she can get over it because God, that's really unfortunate. But the truth is there's a lot of wonderful people out there. And I hope that they can meet them instead of the people that hurt them. It's a shame. It really is. Like it's like that one Anon from the past was like from the past submission. They were like, I hope like that one person who shouted at them at the drive-thru. Anon was like, I hope that this might make me get scared of adults. I'm like, God, that's so unfortunate. There's a lot of good adults out there who would actually take care of you, who actually act like an adult, you know? It's all about meeting the right people. Crazy stuff. The next one. I try my best whether in my study or any competition, but why it always doesn't end up the way I want. I don't know anymore. I don't have any passion in my degree. What do you think I should do? I swear I work hard, but why? That sounded like a cry into the abyss. Gosh, I feel you. I feel you all so fundamentally. So in my core. It's called burnouts. It's called burnout, love. Promise you, there was a lot of times when I felt burned out doing streaming. Probably shouldn't be too open about this, but yeah, burnout is real. Oh my god, you know, you'll make really big projects or you stream hoping that, you know, something good will happen or whatnot, but you end up just kind of spending a lot of money on a project, or you kind of just end up, you know, it's stressful, it's annoying. And it's very, it does burn you out very quickly. But I actually talked to a friend about this. And they told me something that I think is very true. You can't always love eating your favorite food. I like donuts. I like cake. But I don't want to eat cake every day. I don't want to drink bubble tea every day. It's unhealthy for me. I'll probably get sick of it. You know, perhaps sometimes you gotta ask yourself, is it possible that it's not that I don't have any more passion in my degree? Perhaps it's not that I hate streaming or whatever. It's just that it's very natural. In fact, it's actually very normal that some days I love it and some days I hate it. Perhaps it's very natural that one day you don't really have any passion for your degree, but the other day you realize, I remember why I started this all. You know, something like that. I get it though. I really do get it. You try your best in your studies and things don't work the way you want. Just like how, you know, sometimes I have a really cool stream planned, but, you know, the engagement is not as high as I thought, or things like that. Oh, I totally get it. But not all days can be rainbows, right? And one thing that drives me is to tell the world that no, you know what? No. I am cool. No. I chose this for a reason. I can achieve goodness. I can achieve greatness. I'm gonna show the world that I do have what it takes to be awesome. You know? So Non, I think my advice to you is maybe first take a step back and think, is it really that you don't have passion in your degree, or is it possible that you're just a little burned out? And ask yourself this. Do you want to be something in your degree? Do you want to show off to yourself or to the world that you got this degree, for instance? What was the goal when you chose this degree? Does that goal really, do those ends meet the process? These are some questions you really need to ask yourself. And I personally feel like if you really think about why you started this, why you started this degree, why you decided to choose this degree among all of these other degrees, then perhaps if that reason is strong enough for you, then I think you should keep going and try harder next time. I know you're already trying hard, but try harder next time to show the world that, yeah, I, Vermillion, do matter. I am something. You know? Hi Kaicho, I'm sorry if this is long and sappy, but I really want to tell you a lot of things before the year ends. Firstly, I want to say thank you for being the hardworking Kaicho that you are, because you inspire me to do my best. I've always looked up to how you manage your academic, streamer, and personal life. Let me tell you, I passed several exams through the years thanks to your study, work with me streams. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Oop, that is me. I'm currently a speech therapy intern this year, and it's my first time handling patients, but it's been so difficult. I'm reaching a point of burnouts that I'm barely doing the never-ending paperwork. I also get called out or corrected by my supervisors that I feel so incompetent and slow. You're an intern! It's your first time handling patients. If you didn't make mistakes, that would be surprising. I think something you could sometimes tell yourself when you make mistakes is, oh, you know what? That was a mistake I could have made. You know what I mean? Tell yourself, oh, you know what? That wasn't like something nonsensical. No. You guys remember like something you were worried about a month ago? You guys remember like some, you know, like something your boss told you and got mad at you for a month ago? Probably not. I don't remember everything. Yeah, maybe I remember some kind of talk. I don't remember what exactly emotions I was feeling or whatnot. It's okay, it all passes. And also, I just really want to pass my clinical internship, but it's so hard. I keep crying every week. Feels like I never have a break. Something I like to say to myself. Whenever I make a mistake, whenever something doesn't go the way I hope it to. You know? Let me see if I can translate it properly. In life, this long goddamn story of life, that could happen too. You know what? That could happen too. Shit happens. I mean, shit happens, man. That's life. You make a mistake, your supervisors, you know, call you out for it. Damn, well, shit happens. It's okay. It's life. That could be okay. It's okay. I made a mistake. Damn, well, you know what? It could happen, yeah. It could happen. And a month from now, I'll probably forget about this. It's fine. It's fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, really, that's really all you gotta think about. Every time you bump into a wall, just be like, man, Shit happens. It's okay. Whatever. It happens. Dear Kaicho, here's the thing I'm facing recently. I'm a college student. There's an important exhibition every year to present our department's work results during the year. My class was responsible for that this year, and I was the vice organizer. We have planned this since April, and it ended last week. Teachers all gave us positive feedback. Yay! But I was so stressed during the process. It was the first time for us to organize an important event. I know I didn't make everything the best, but some of the classmates just insulted me for mistakes, or complained about anything wasn't the way they want when they actually did nothing helpful, just blaming on me and the others. Responsibility, the negative comments, and other assignments really made my mind a mess, and I cried a lot. My parents said that wasn't a big deal, just things would happen in the school. I know that, but I still feel miserable. Shit happens. Shit happens. Shit happens. You'll forget about it in a month. Don't worry about it. You'll forget about it in a month. Shit happens, bro. I mean, no, seriously. I could go on and on about, oh, they're terrible. Trust me, man. Hold on. I could go on and about like, oh, your friends are, your classmates are terrible. Oh, how could they say that even though you work so hard? And how could they make you so cry? And that's not going to do anything. Come on. I do know for a fact that, of course, you're totally fine, by the way. I want you to know that, by the way. Your classmates are in the wrong for even saying that to you. If they didn't help, then they absolutely did the wrong. But in my experience, I think what really helps is for you to understand that, yeah, I'm bound to meet stupid people like this who don't appreciate my work. That's life. It's okay. Project's over. Got good feedback. Let's move on. Next project. Don't let people like that ruin your day. Exactly. Don't cry over mean people, because think about it this way. Every tear you shed, every day, every night you're crying because of what they said, they're probably outside partying. Probably having the time of their lives. That's annoying. A quick question that you've been meaning to ask. Yeah, sure, hit me. Now, what I'm trying to basically say is there's no real reason to harbor hate for other people. Like, I get it. Like, they upsetted you, but there's no reason to hate them. Can you say Arara? That is a premium service. That is a premium service. I think I already downloaded this one. Nice try, though. Hi, Kaicho. It's been about 2.5 months since I sent you a message saying I got a job thanks to you. Even now, your words are what keeps me going. I joined a well-known company in my area, so I thought things would be okay. But over time, pay isn't properly paid. People aren't allowed to rest even when they're sick, and there are no holidays during New Year's. Wait, what? Wait, whoa. Overtime is not properly paid. I mean, okay, fine, whatever. Like, that's annoying too. But not allowed to rest when they're sick? Oh, that's unfortunate. I was unemployed for a long time, so I want to at least make it through 6 months. But with you, I feel invincible. No matter how tired I am, your stream always make the end of my day the best part. Thank you always. So, the community you've built is truly warm. Aw, thank you. That sounds familiar? Oh no. So, I'm first of all surprised that such companies still exist in freaking 2025. But let me follow up by saying this. it's like, don't jump jobs until you found a job. I think that's my first advice to you. Secondly, you're right to try to at least go for the 6 months, because that's kind of like the benchmark, right? It's kind of a benchmark for like other employers. Here's something that a lot of people kind of, especially early in your careers. I know a lot of my chats, a lot of my villains are like students or like, you know, like earlier in their careers. Something you guys have to understand. Your first job is very, very, very unlikely to be your last job. Right? People swap jobs all the freaking time. So the real question is, how do I make myself marketable when I do decide to make that jump? It's all about the resume. When employers look at your resume, they're looking for certain things. They don't really want to hire someone who stayed at a job for like 3 months. It's a little annoying. You erase your first job from your resume? It depends on the job, I guess. No, but seriously. Like, people don't want to hire someone who jumps jobs too early. Even though if it's annoying, people do think resilience is a quality that they like. And it's just business, you know? It's all just business. I think 6 months is a pretty good benchmark. Saying, hey, you know, I stuck there half a year, but they just didn't really match what I was looking for in a job. Something like that. But during those 6 months, I was able to yada yada yada. That's what you get. That's what you get out of the job. In a sense, it's really weird to say this, but in a sense, every job is also experience. It's basically building up your experience points. What's the best way to think of it? Let's put it this way. Every job is like a dungeon, and you go into the dungeon, you kill the mobs, you get all the loot to sell and, you know, make a living. But you keep getting experience points so that you could challenge the next dungeon. And the next dungeon has like a level limit. You need to at least be level 10 if you want to get to the next dungeon. You need to be level 20 if you want to get to the next dungeon. Things like that. Basically, it's farm EXP. Exactly. Absolutely. And one day, and of course, it's not 100% accurate, because one day you might be able to find a dungeon and be like, I like this dungeon. I'm gonna stay in this dungeon for a long time, you know? But if you're still thinking about jumping around jobs, 100%, yeah. So Anon, when you look at this job, it's, let's be honest here, not allowing you to rest when you're sick, no holidays during New Year's, that's not good. It's not a good company, let's be honest here. But I think you're absolutely in the right to think about at least sticking through 6 months. And during that time, I would also try to reach out to recruiters. Be like, hey, you know, I've been working here. I'm interested in this kind of job. Try to do a little bit of interviewing. Don't tell your current job, of course. There's no reason to feel bad about that. I mean, come on. They're making you go to work on New Year's. Come on. And once you find something, you just jump ship. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I feel like there's especially with a lot of, you know, younger, you know, people who are like more soft-hearted are kind of like, but what if they get upset? What if they get mad at me, brother? You know, they'll forget about you in a month. They'll forget about you. You'll forget about them in a month. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But if you do end up sticking there, right? What you won't forget is all of the days you spent working even though you were sick. All of the late nights you worked. Every New Year's you were stuck in the office while everyone else was playing outside. No bueno. I'm a college student and I'm worried about my future career prospects. The profession associated with my major has relatively low salaries in my country, yet it comes with heavy responsibilities and demands. As a student, This makes me anxious about whether I'll be able to support myself financially in the future, let alone continue investing time and money into my hobbies, like following my favorite content creators the way I do now. I'm uncertain if pursuing this path will allow me to maintain the lifestyle I currently enjoy. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, and that's a really important thing to consider. I want to start off by saying, it's honestly, it's not surprising or it's not weird that you're thinking about this. It actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, a major often leads to a profession, and if that major happens to lead to a profession that's both demanding but not well paid, then yeah, that would naturally raise questions about sustainability, financially, emotionally, worrying about whether you'll be able to support yourself, or maybe, enjoy the small things in life, hobbies. That's not a shallow question. It's really, you're really thinking realistically about adulthood, and I think that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I remember when I was a college student, I wasn't thinking about the future at all. So you're already one huge step ahead of me. Now, I will also say that it might be helpful if you remember that your current lifestyle and whatever lifestyle you lead in the future doesn't have to be an all or nothing, right? Like, for instance, what often, you know how I mentioned that your first job is never your last one? Usually, earlier in your career, you're often tighter financially. You don't have that money. You don't have money saved up, especially if you're in a field that happens to be low paying. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna be poor forever, right? That doesn't mean that you're gonna not have time to spend doing some hobbies you want to, maybe watching plays, watching, VTubers. Income grows. Roles can often shift within the company or towards different jobs. And here's the truth. People often find lateral, adjacent paths that often do have a better balance in pay and, hours than the quote-unquote defaults kind of path that the profession offers. What that means is, for instance, since I was a psychology major, I might as well throw that out. Psychology major. Terrible. I'm sorry if you're a psychology major, but let me just say, career prospects not looking good. Unless, of course, you want to go into psychiatry, in which case, career prospects look amazing. Great job. I'm looking forward to it. The thing is, though, let's say you become a psychologist. You may be a clinical psychologist. You go sit down and give therapy to people. While doing that, you decide, hey, maybe I want to do other things. Like maybe, oh, you know what? This isn't doing well. I have like no monies. Making no monies. I want to do something else. You decide to get a business degree, an MBA, right? Or you don't have the money for it. Well, maybe you save up the money while being a clinical psychologist. You take some you take some business credits either from online courses. I know a lot of colleges actually offer business credits by just taking those classes even though you're not enrolled in the school. One day you decide, you know what, I have enough money, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get an MBA. You sign up an MBA, bam, you have an MBA credit along with your clinical psychology role. What does that sign you up for? You're a great consultant. Hell, you're probably one of the best consultants out there because you know how to talk to people and you also know the business. Bam, easy peasy. You make probably double the amounts. That's just how life is. it's like we're always on this like it's really scary. And I'm not saying that your worries and concerns are again like not important at all. If you are really sincerely worried about your major and you're not too far into your college career, consider maybe swapping your major or doing a dual major if you can. 100%. If I could go back in time, I'll probably tell myself, hey, take your college studies more importantly. Hey, maybe consider finance. Stonks, brother. But if that's not the case, try to at the very least look at what you can do, right? Like hell, if your major is public service oriented, right? Public service. That's not gonna make me money. Well, wrong. Public service can lead into policy, compliance work, which makes a lot of money, research work, corporate ESG, operations. Oh, hey, I have a creative major, creative writing. I'm not gonna make wrong. Marketing, product designs, product marketing, UX, UI, content strategy, project coordination. Well, things like that. You just gotta think a little big picture. Here's something important to know. When you go into interviews, obviously they'll look at your major, but they'll also look at the story that you build. Each resume tells a story. And let's say your resume tells a story that says, hey, I'm a psych major. I did clinical psychology for a bit, but I also decided to take an MBA. I have these online courses. I have these licenses. What does that resume tell me? This person has an expert master understanding of psychology and the human mind, but also knows business. Consulting! you know? It's not it's your major and your first job. That's not gonna define you. Okay, it won't. I know it's all scary now, but life is really goddamn long. Man, I feel like I've already lived all of my life, but I'm barely halfway there. I'm not even halfway there. Well, hopefully, I will knock on wood. But I'm not halfway there. You know what I mean? Life is long, and you have a lot of time to figure things out and get a new job or study something new. I have a literature degree, but I've experience as a designer, interned in law firms, and now my job is basically HR. I don't know how I got here. Trust me, there are a lot of people who says, I don't know how I got here. But now I'm making 6 figures. I don't know why, but I am. It'd be like that, you know? Yeah, look at me. Now I'm a VTuber. It do be like that. It do be like that. Well, time is up, so I'll get through maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of submissions that I wanted to get through, but I'll get through like maybe a few more. You like your job? Yeah. I like you. I like you guys. Well, I like my job. There are days when I'm just thinking, I just kind of want to lie down and not stream. I'm not gonna lie. Not because I feel like it's more like I like spending time with you guys, but I kind of wish I could just I'm an introvert, I like spending time with my friends, but I'm the kind of person who's like, I just want to sit down at a table, maybe drink some tea, listen to you guys yap, and I'll just sit down and just be like, that's funny. Oh, man. You like it too? Membership stream where I just sit down and watch you guys yap? Yeah, why not? Lying down stream. You think I'm not lying down right now? Just kidding. That'd be pretty cool though. Maybe I should. That is the work stream vibe. That is why I do like keyboard streams, because I'm just kind of working and just watching you guys talk, and it's kind of funny. Nupangi. Listening ASMR. Woo. That would be pretty funny. Let's see here. There are... I'm gonna read... Student council president is tired and hears you. Yeah, do be like that. Where is it? There was one that I just saw. Oh, here we go. I'll read these two and call it a day. This one I wanted to address because this one was actually quite incredible. From a young age, I've dealt with ongoing health issues. They aren't life-threatening, but they affect my appearance and daily comforts. I often envy people who can freely wear makeup, style their lashes, decorate their faces, or even put on cute accessories. My skin is extremely sensitive. Something as simple as wearing a bracelet for too long can cause rashes, and eyeliner can make the area around my eyes flare up. There's no makeup remover or facial product that truly works for my skin. This has always been a sense of insecurity, especially when I go out with friends. They look polished and beautiful, while I feel like I stand out in the wrong way. Still, I try not to let it consume me. I remind myself that this is far better than having a serious life-threatening illness. So I accept it, push forward, and focus on building a strong personality to make up for what I lack. Thank you for giving me a safe space to share this. I've been carrying these thoughts for a long time. Gosh. Can I get some hearts in chat? I think there is, without a doubt, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, God, it's so brave of you. So brave of you to share this. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. But I think mainly what I want to share is what you deal with, what you're dealing with right now is it's a serious thing. It's not trivial. And it's actually a little, it's a little saddening to see you say things like, it could be worse, or, hey, it's not life-threatening. It doesn't hurt me. I mean, yeah. It's definitely an emotionally intelligent thing to say. Hey, at least it's not life-threatening. But it's also an incredibly incomplete picture of this entire thing. I believe that two things can absolutely be true at once. Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you are fortunate that at least it's not life-threatening, but that doesn't mean you're not allowed to be sad or upset or mourn what you can't have, what you don't get to have. I mean, suppressing your feeling of sadness, suppressing that feeling of, oh, why couldn't I have that? I mean, that just makes the pain, makes the pain grow, makes it hurt more, makes it longer lasting. So no, don't be grateful. And definitely don't use gratitude as like a way to stop yourself from feeling upset. Let it out. And about the appearance part, I mean, come on. We get it, dude, 100%. Makeup or accessories, styling yourself, being pretty, all of that. Those are ways of self-expression, or ways to participate in social gatherings and, having fun or whatever, maybe clubbing, I don't know. It's like a form of identity, right? It's a form of play. And being physically unable to access those tools of makeup or accessories, that's a real loss. And it's not a shallow one either. And I feel like it's really important that you feel that you want to participate the way that others can. And when you say that, you focus on building a strong personality to make up for what I lack, yeah, that's admirable and that's a cool thing to say, but it's... I mean, isn't that like saying, like, I need to compensate for my body? I mean, come on. I get it, but I feel like over time that's just gonna grow into some kind of pressure to always feel interesting, always feel, always try to be interesting, always try to be funny or kind or whatever. And you would always have this weird guilt of wanting beauty, wanting softness, wanting to be soft. You'll get burned out very quickly. You don't owe the world charisma, right? In exchange for acceptance or exchange for comfort. So here's my advice to you. It might not be easy, but you need to understand that, for instance, instead of like comparing the methods of beauty, whether it be makeup or accessories or styling, maybe try to look at the values of beauty. Focus on things like a good voice, a good presence, dress nicely, how even scent, good fragrance. Your mannerisms matter a lot. I know a lot of friends who I absolutely hate, even though they're pretty. I'm like, oh, they're rude. They say the most out-of-pocket things. I hate them. Mannerisms are super important. Warmth. Things like that are in itself a very beautiful value, and that's something you should consider 100%. Instead of asking like, how do I look like my friends who have makeup on, you should be asking, what kind of beauty do I value? And how can I express it safely? I feel like that's a good step forward. And of course, 100%, you are 100% allowed to say this is unfair. Poof, I wish it were different. I feel like you're 100% allowed to say that too. I would encourage you to name the loss quite plainly, whether it be in private, whether in writing, or in this case, to me, which I really appreciate. But next time when you say it, don't be like, but I shouldn't complain. Just complain, girl. Let it all out. Just be like, it's so upsetting that because of my skin condition, I can't wear makeup. It's so annoying that I can't, put on accessories because of my body. God, it's so unfair. That's totally understandable. God, that is unfair. And me and my villains would be 100% there for you, being, that's freaking annoying. And I think one last thing I might share is that I know right now it feels like a lot, but how should I say this? I mean, I also think about the way I look, and I also think about, you know, like dressing up nicely and how others view me, but you know, at some point it kind of gets, at some a point of your age, you just kind of stop caring. It might just be me, but I kind of grew comfortable in my own skin. I had a complex where I felt like the sides of my head were too wide. I always looked, when I was younger, I always looked at the mirror thinking, God, if it just wasn't this. I was thinking of going to freaking, you know, maybe a plastic surgeon to cut off parts of my skull. I was so focused on those parts thinking, man, God, that's so, if it just wasn't for that, I would be so handsome or something. But now I look in the mirror thinking, hey, handsome. I get so comfortable in my own skin. I feel like it just comes of age, really. True, I missed my popular arc. I missed the handsome arc that like every other anime boy seems to have. Like, or like, you know, every K-drama, school K-drama where like the guy's always surrounded by girls. I never had that. But I look at the mirror and I think, hey, not bad. You know? Maybe it's coping, but I like to just think of it as growing up and being resilient. It'll be fine. Hey, handsome. Aw. Hey. 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 And this is gonna be the last one. Thank you for sharing all of this. Oh, and of course. So if you guys are willing to be vulnerable with me, then of course I need to reciprocate. Hi Kaicho, I'm a graduate from this past summer, and I'm currently doing my internship while working hard towards my teaching certification and next year's official exam. As I look at the current working environment, which can be so unpredictable and varied, I can't help feeling that teachers are constantly placed under a magnifying glass, whether it's from students or from parents. Teachers are expected to be perfect, to have no sharp edges, to always be gentle and approachable. The supervisors and teachers at my current workplace treat me very kindly. I often find myself feeling that I don't truly deserve all of this care and affection. Have you ever felt this way too, Kaicho? That sense of not being worthy of what you have right now? Oh yeah. So without a doubt that I just a couple days ago, there was this wonderful little anniversary where my villains came and celebrated it together. Enjoyed my karaoke. You know, they set up a billboard, they did some photo booth projects, they drew some wonderful arts. You know, they sent super chats, sent gifts, they said nice things. And sometimes it's really hard to... Well, for me, I think it was really the singing too, especially. I've always wanted to be a singer. And... well, right now my Iris Out is at 65k views in 3 days. Wow. I mean, that's awesome. And I'm not like... I'm no one special. I'm not... You know, I'm not the most popular in NIJISANJI. Not even close. I'm not the highest earner in NIJISANJI. I don't make all those. I'm not the guy who has all the sponsors. I'm not much. And yet I still have a loyal fan base who watch my streams, who enjoy my content, who watch and listen to my songs. I mean, come on. That's pretty cool. Sometimes very shocking. Stop devaluing yourself, man. I literally said facts. It's all objective facts. So that makes it important to me that I still have a fan base that is warm and caring and sticks next to me. So I appreciate that. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. It's getting late for me. There are also many fans in China who support you. 谢谢。我爱你，中国 Vermillions. Thank you so much always. Have a good day. Have a good night. You think you aren't much, but you are enough. And very much loved. Please remember that. Thank you so much, Jinyu. Thank you so much, Jinyu and HR. Rizaki, thank you so much for the super. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. My Vermillions.